Fellas, welcome. Now that we've done the top 10 worst skins of 2025, now we get to look at the top 10 most missed potential skins of the year. This was always kind of a bit of a contentious subject because if I did miss potential just saying, oh, I think this skin could have been better, it was just kind of okay, in that case it kind of just becomes an extended top 10 worst. That's not really super interesting, I think. What I usually do for the top 10 most missed potential skins is instead pitching skin ideas for skin lines that came out this year and saying, hey, how come this champion wasn't a part of that skin line? What would we have liked to see this year? Usually I don't have honorable mentions for it. However, this time I do, because I'd like to introduce, for the honorable mentions of most missed potential, skins from the other right IPs that I think should have happened.
It should have been me, not him!
And we got number 1. Why was this a TFT chibi only? It's the lore skin. This goes double for Zahen as well, by the way. The comic version of Yunara and Zahen in the past, TFT got this as a chibi and nowhere else. I would have preferred this, and I know people like the Spirit Blossom skin. I just have a personal gripe with a champion's launch skin being fan service. It gives me the impression they had to take the easy way out. They didn't have confidence it would sell. And that's how I feel when that happens.
Intruder alert! Red spy is in the base.
A red spy is in the base? Oh, damn it!
Anyway, thanks Spirit Blossom Yunara. Would have been nice to have the lore skin. Imagine if Volibear was a new champion, they launched him with Spirit Blossom Springs Volibear.
That doesn't sound so bad.
Second honorable mention is TFT, but kind of not really. Because it's actually from not TFT. It's from Golden Spatula, believe it or not. And they had one, which was Perfume Gem. It was just kind of a business salesman, fancy salespeople selling all their cosmetics, right? And it got me thinking, oh yeah, what do you mean we don't have a slimy businessman Tom Kench yet? Never mind a skin that gives him an actual mustache. Of course! Of course! The corporate Tom Kench just makes sense. Yeah, Mundo's rival is perfect. And he's a salesman. He's an owner of a big corporation. He's trying to sell you all these products. Kind of like how Tom Kench's trying to sell you all these promises of what he'll offer you. Same vibes. I'm very surprised that we don't have one yet, and that Golden Spatula of all things was the first. An idea like this should have happened for sure. Next one is a Wild Rift skin. I think it could have been executed slightly better, but like, goddamn, dude. We haven't had proper mecha in a while, not like Mecha Kings or whatever, the proper mecha, and Volibear, very damn good. What I really like about this one too is that it plays into what Mecha Urgot established. If you guys don't remember Mecha Urgot in Wild Rift, they designed it so that Mecha Urgot is, they kind of built this mech around the skeleton of Crabgot. And that is a really clever nod to Godzilla against Mecha Godzilla is what it was called.
Biden, blast!
They did the same thing. They built this new Mechagodzilla Kiryu around the bones of the original Godzilla. And at some point during the movie, Mechagodzilla becomes Godzilla again. Like, it gains the memories of its past. Like, oh wait, I'm Godzilla. And it starts destroying stuff.
What?
Ever wonder why this mech has this big glowing red eye? In the same vein that Kiryu, when turning into the Mecha Godzilla, getting its memories back, gets big glowing red eyes. That's what Mecha Volibear is. Same idea as Urgot. Skeleton of a kaiju, mech built around it, kaiju gains its memories back, and now it's a kaiju with all the powers of the mech. Hell yeah, dude. I think that the animations are a bit off. A lot of his walk cycle is really floaty. I don't think they sell the weight of him as well as Scion does. It's still really cool though. And the other Wilder skin I have, my god, is it ever charming. I love Weatherhead the Oriana. This is so great. And I think what they did really well with this is one that she is wind. So obviously her little spinning thing here where the skirt normally is. But you notice she's still robotic.
Yes.
In fact, there's a lot of plastic here. That's not glass, that's plastic. Dude, she's literally one of those kids' toys. You know, the little dolls, you pull the string and they go and they start flying in the air, they spin around. And it plays into her being like a robot, but she's a toy. It's perfect. It plays into her theme from Base League super well, super clever. And I love it for that. And final honorable mention I have. I don't have a picture of it because there is no official art of it. 2XKO made Pool Party Ari. At that point, right, you made it. Just get your money. The deed's done. It exists. It's real. They did it. Pool Party Ari is a real thing. She's He's a lifeguard. I'm shocked they didn't pour it over, but I assume it's probably because they did Spirit Blossom Springs at the same time.
Put some clothes on!
So, my number 10 pick is to do with Masked Justice. Anyone remember this one who didn't play TFT? This is the Power Rangers Super Sentai skin line. And we had Senna and Lucian and Yone. And then we got Karma and Jarvan in TFT. For some reason, they're exclusive to TFT. My pick isn't them. What is the formula for Power Rangers and Super Sentai? Like, what do they do? What do they do with that mecha? You're gonna have all these heroes. Where's the monster of the week? Where's your villain? They keep making skin lines with these big superhero teams without any villains to fight. If you want just a big kaiju, you know, you want to put a Skarner in there, you want Crab God in there, sure. But you also should have an actual villain. T-Hex, that's what I'm talking about. You can do some cool things with some Masked Justice villains. Having no villains to fight in these big superhero team-up skins makes it feel a lot more lifeless in comparison. Number 9, while I do very much appreciate Arcane Counselor Mel,
I mean, it's alright, like...
really weird we didn't get a skin of Mel from Season 2, which is the design that we got in TFT. It's just weird to me. Probably breaks the science space with the cloak. I think that's why, is because she didn't have the cloak, which I still will stand by. The cloak is just kind of silly to me. It works for Arcane Counselor Mel, but for where Mel is now, it's strange. Or if you want to keep the cloak, look at this fan art someone did. Black Rose Mel, that feels like that works. Hell, the version from Bite Marks, she still got a cloak. It's just not the big fancy dress. Look how cool she looks here. Damn, she looks so cool. And then if you want to have this kind of fancy aristocratic skin, you have the Arcane Counselor version, or you used kind of her infiltrating the Black Rose like that. It just feels strange. Mel feels like she was introduced to the League and then just goodbye. We gotta move on to everything else. We gotta move on to Yunara, and LeBlanc's the actual real main character. She ended up making her feel more just like a segue to the story than anything else, which is a shame. Number 8 now, there's Spirit Blossom Springs, Aphelios. And I know people make the jokes of like, oh, Aphelios, oh yeah, he's a twink. No, he's not. By no metric is he at all. He's buff as shit, dude. He's muscled like crazy. And so they try to make him so much thinner. Well, now he's just Dorito shaped. And he's still got the big muscles there too. Like, splash art's really misleading. You have an actual twink character, guys. You know how crazy people would have gotten for a Spirit Blossom Springs Hui? You could have just done that and have the watery effects there for his abilities. It feels weird that they keep trying to morph Aphelios into this character body type that he doesn't actually have. And really, you know, Hui probably would have looked a lot cooler with more prestigious particle effects. I just think it's strange that we got Aphelios and not Hui here. Speaking of Spirit Blossom though, where the fuck is Shen in anything at all? Where'd he go, guys? And I use Zed here because Zed, the skin bio for this, is basically a 1-to-1 of his League bio.
They look f***ing identical, Robert.
Just with more
Spirit.
Well, if you're gonna do that, have basically a canon lore skin. You could have just had Shen. Like, what was he doing? Protector of his homeland is never involved with anything that's ever happening in his homeland. Like, he just doesn't do anything. Shen River. Of course, of course. He's supposed to be the balance between the physical realm and the spirit realm. You know, like where Yunara and Shinzao went. Bizarre to me that he was just omitted entirely. It's so weird. Number 6. I was never expecting Mecha Kingdoms to come back, and it was really cool. And obviously I'm biased because they threw a whole bunch of Monster Hunter references in there. But then if you're gonna have a skin with a bunch of incredibly obvious Monster Hunter references and you didn't give it to Cassante?
Do you ever like wake up or do something and you're just like,
Cassante is a proud monster hunter of the top lane.
Guys, he is the Monster Hunter character. That is his thing. And he has the big weapons. Like, they tried to turn Darius's axe into a charge blade. Tonfas are a thing in Monster Hunter Frontier. The Nuntofos are basically just giant Tonfas. It just works. It's perfect.
This was the no-brainer.
And Kasadi's a big guy. He would work as a big mech. It just works. Like, I can't believe that they did it. And Darius did not need a third legendary. Even though I do really like this skin. Just flabbergasted that Cassante didn't get it. He's just a perfect fit for him. Number 5's kind of a two-parter in a way. I really, really, really like Flora Fatalis though. And there's two options I would have gone with. Nico would be perfect for this. What a creepy twist on her shape-shifting ability. Because these are supposed to be like cordyceps fungus. These are people being infected with plants, being controlled by become zombies, basically. And Nico being a shapeshifter, the whole point is they're trying to lure them in to turn more people into these cordyceps zombies. And we don't have any scary Nico skin yet. Something horror themed for Nico would be really cool. The other idea I have is based more on a headcanon. I want you to look at this splash art and tell me you don't see the greenhouses, the tissue patterning, the hex core shaped bud here, and like, I was so certain this was something to do with Arcane. To me, this felt like a what if scenario. This is like when Victor was experimenting on the plants with the hex core. This is a what if those plants didn't just die, they continued to evolve. And the story beats as well of this parasite. I was like, oh, we will all be one. It's for the betterment of all if we are just all of the same collective hive mind. That's just Victor, man.
I'm gonna take a singular step.
It's just an alternate universe telling a Victor story, except he lost control way faster. Again, that's all based on a headcanon of what I thought this skin line was going to be, but I really like the idea. Nico still works really well too. Number 4.
Don't you dare finish that sentence. Don't do it. I'm sick of it.
This one's cheating a little bit. I think it is criminal that we get these visual updates. The fact that we're tying them to seasons and tying them to the story means, are they ever gonna get it? Are Ken and Vlad just gonna be stuck forever? It feels so weird that they were so involved in the story and then they got nothing. Vlad, at the bare minimum, got the Black Rose. What did Kennen get? It's so weird. Well, they both are in desperate need of visual updates too. It's not like they're just kind of minor. Like, oh, yo, they could use a visual update. Like, Shen could use some extra animation, some voice. It's like, these guys are horrible looking. And so I'm worried that if we're tying visual updates to seasons, even if that means we're getting more, it means, are these guys going to be stuck looking the way they do until we eventually return to Noxus or Ionia, if we ever do? So much of the League cast really desperately needs it, and that's going to hurt. You know, we go to Demacia, and if it turns out that Lux gets the ASU or something, what about poor Sona? What about poor Jarvan? What about poor Vayne? You know, there's tons of champions that need them. Or, you know, Shyvana. On to number 3. And number 3 feels kind of bad because I wrote all this stuff in advance. Because my number 3 was actual full and proper region swap skins. And then yesterday we have Petricite, Cho'Gath, and Nautilus. So they're doing it. My thought process was always, if you're gonna have a skin based on a region, instead of just being redundant and just making Noxian Scion again, go out a bit outside the box, see what some champions who are not from that region would look at that region. What would a Demacian Garen look like? What would an Ionian Swain look like? That kind of stuff. There could be all kinds of really fun mishmashes of things. I'm happy that they're doing this, so I won't talk about this one too much because they are actively doing it now, but more like this, it's fun.
That's good enough.
Now to number 2. We'll talk about lore skins, region swap stuff, all that. There is one that's just, I cannot believe it.
I want my bird.
A bird? You want a bird?
I want my bird.
How did it not happen, guys? Come on. It's so weird that it didn't. It's so weird. And I would understand more if Zahen's launch skin wasn't also baffling.
We got you the bird, pal.
It's worse by comparison because we got random Immortal Journey for no reason. When everyone already liked this design, I was like, oh, cool bird ascended form. And this is actually a double whammy because I didn't just want a bird form of Zahen. We were having a season of the Darkin, and Act 1 was of Darkin. If Zahen was coming out, Act 2 should have been Ascended, man. Give me Ascended Aatrox. I want to see what he looked like before the whole corruption thing. I want to see what Rost looked like before he became a Darkin. Like, what the hell? It's so obvious. We finally would have had an opportunity to see the past and present version. It's so silly. And we haven't had an Ascended character. Oh, God. Azir was the last one, wasn't he? Oh, God. It's been almost 12 years. What could number 1 be? Well, this whole season got me thinking, you know, we're gonna have all this stuff to do with Ionia and the Ascended and the Darkin. And then we got teased about how LOR was supposed to be collaborating with stuff. Are you kidding me? We had the perfect opportunity to bring the corrupted skins from LOR to PC. This was the best time to do it, and we didn't do it! And that goes for all of them. The Targon ones are awesome too. They're all awesome. Maybe Leona's a bit, but they're all awesome. I can't believe we didn't do it. I'm in disbelief. The what if scenarios, like what if the aspects in the Ascended got turned to dark, and it's just so cool. And they don't even have to design them. In Redacted's case, you have a 3D model to go off of already. You have direct 3D models that you could use as reference, and if you can even port them over, that's even more work already done. If it's not happening now, when LOR was going to have a collaboration with League, and when the whole theme was around the Darken, and we started getting Darken themed skins for the champions, but didn't go through with it.
No.
That'll do it for my top 10 most missed potential skins of 2025. Do you fellas agree? Maybe you have your own ideas for some skins you would have liked to see released this year, or maybe tell me that I'm stupid and dumb and wrong about all this stuff. Sure, let me know, and I'll see you next time for the top best skins of the year. So I'll see you then. Outro.